Hello, my esteemed colleagues, and welcome this Halloween daytime/night to the darkest dungeon 2. Hello. So welcome to a cup of tea and a slice of game. We are playing Darkest Dungeon 2. Now, I have not touched this sequel. I have not seen a screenshot. I know absolutely nothing about what is going on. However, I have played a lot of Darkest Dungeon 1. So I'm hoping this will go just as well as the first one did, where no one died, defeated every boss, and, you know, a walk in the park. No, the first one was awful for me. I am so bad at this game, and there's nothing quite as scary for Halloween as the fear of failure, and that is the true horror that we shall be experiencing today on this darkest of dungeons. So, we're going to hop straight in, and I'm going to click for the first time, begin new journey. Ooh, scary note. Scary dark. A spooky clock. Atmospheric. Okay. Very different to the introduction of the first one, I'll admit. I'm assuming it didn't go very well by the looks of it. Oh.
Ruin has found you at last.
Well, it found us last time, thank you very much, but...
My friend. Our calculations were correct. The ephemeral equation is unbalanced.
The ephemeral what?
Spins on a strange and terrifying new axis. And everywhere, unbridled consequence.
Oh, he's got his fingers in his own eyes. I'm not a fan of that.
It is a wasteland of failures past. And yet, you must ride out into it, unafraid. Take this. It is hope. The very last of it. It is yours now.
Oh, it's a literal thing. Hope is literally a small fire.
Be bold once
It's
more.
torchlight. Okay, cool.
Free yourself from this suffocating stillness. Fix your gaze on the horizon. And face the fearsome truth
What fearsome truth?
of the darkest dungeon.
Why? I'll admit the reasons for why we're going into a darkest dungeon are somewhat vaguer. I don't see why that helps the fact that the Earth's axis has gone weird. Complete your confession. Play cinematic. Okay. Hereby acknowledge and accept the fullness of my mistakes. Okay, well, I'm going to hit play cinematic. Unless that's the one we've just seen, but I can't click on any of the others, and it doesn't look like I can sign it, so... let's watch it. No, that is indeed the one we've just seen. Ah, there you go. Okay, if I click on it, I can then sign it.
You have cowered in your crumbling denial long enough.
That's 3D. And that might sound odd to be so surprised at, but... So, stagecoach is your carriage, your coffin, and your confessional driving. Weird. Okay, press W to drive the coach forward. Double tap W to auto drive. Ah, auto driving's for fools. I shall crash with my own volition. Thank you. A or D to steer. Press Z to bring up the stagecoach view. This shows what upgrades are installed on the coach. So can I change that the Wainwright who is present at each inn? Okay. Cool. We have this. How do I get rid of this? Like that. Well, let's have a look. So this is our stagecoach. We don't have a trophy. We don't have any upgrades. We don't have a pet. I can change the name of it. Ooh. The Last Hope, it's a bit dramatic. It's a bit... Actually, while I've noticed that as well, I noticed that I haven't actually had time to mess with the settings yet, so I'm going to quickly have a look and see what we're dealing with. I think we're dealing with the highest graphics we can, so ignore me. And oh, there's a flame as well. The stage gauge carries the flame, which is the last hope for the world. It will gradually diminish as you try for various actions. Oh dear. It seems I'm already affected with the plague that has cursed this land. Let's see. The lower it gets, the harder things will be for the party. Low it gets below 40, things get harder. Monsters get bonuses. There are increased chances that battle modifiers will further increase a monster's power. Flame reaches 0. The heroes are ambushed by fiendish cultists that survive. Okay. So this isn't like the first one. And again, if you haven't played the first one, the lower the flame got, yeah, there was kind of a risk-reward system. But if you could choose to snuff out your torch, you could choose to fight in 0 light, and that would make things harder, but you would get much better sort of loot and prizes and things like that. Whereas, yeah, this one you just don't want that to happen, admittedly. I honestly feel like the Last Hope, this is already doomed. The Last Hope, the doomed wagon. There, we shall set sail upon our beautiful doomed wagon. Alright, let's go! Cool, I can just steer it about.
The crossroads,
Oh.
where lost souls hope to find their way.
Guilt, loathing, failure, regret, disgrace. Okay. Oh, I've clicked it. See, I had no idea that this game was 3D. None. I have not seen a single thing, and that to me is so cool. Now, looking at the designs that they had from that original game and turning those into something else. By the looks of it, we can only have these first 4. An interesting choice of 4 heroes, because you kind of in the original you did indeed have Dismas. These are all very French. I hope I get the chance to rename them and something similar. So the party, 4 heroes will join together on this expedition. Party creation, you click and drag hero portraits to assemble your party of 4 heroes. Here in the rightmost position in the country, it's first in the combat line. Yeah, I understand that. So your sort of long-range weaker or healer people live at the back, or your damage sort of plague doctor folk, and then your frontline fighters, crusaders, etc. live at the front. So roster arrangement, you can rearrange your party while driving. Okay, clicking and dragging the portraits. Okay, I understand all that. So I think it's about time as well that we talk about the choice of classes, because these have sort of been given to you very much in the Plague Doctor is generally perfectly fine to be either 3rd or 4th. The Grave Robber, is that? See, the Grave Robber was a class in the first game, not a common one, and if I remember correctly, not a particularly good one either. Or is that, it looks a bit like the musket fighter, to be honest. Highwayman was one of the first 2 you got. They're really, really nice. Again, I'm hoping... Oh no, they've got a dicky tummy. It's going to be a problem. What's this do? Skills. Okay, so yeah, Wicked Slice. That was their basic sort of slicing attack. Pistol shot. So again, that's for the front 3 places. You can fire the pistol from the back 3. That is long range, so does slightly less damage. Slightly less crit rate as well. Duelist Advance. I'm never a fan of this because it forces your hero to move, and that can be useful in certain situations because you can be pushed backwards in the in sort of your order. But I always found that sometimes you want to use it, but it would actually mess you up. Though, to be fair, it does less damage than just hitting things, so I guess you'd only ever use it when being pushed back. Tracking shot, target has that squiggle. I don't know what that squiggle means. We'll find out. And then take aim. I was going to say, they've removed a couple of the abilities for this class that I knew quite well, like Grapeshot Blast, which is your AoE. Open Vein, that was the other one of the really, really good ones. They have some more. Double Tap. Excuse me while I drink some delicious water. So that's great for finishing off enemies. Requires target has a positive token. Story positive. Again, that's new. I have no idea what that means. And double cross. Obviously, these I don't currently have. I don't know if that's because this random generation of this version of the class doesn't get them, whether you need to unlock them. I'm not quite sure how it works. I'm not sure it. And again, this Man-at-Arms, that was a class from the first one, but it was not really one of my favourite for the front lines. They were one of the best tank ones, though. But I miss my Crusader, my Reynolds. Obviously, this guy's called Baristan. Again, I'm already seeing that Baristan is instantly going to be called Barry. That I can indeed rename them. Dismas. Dennis, mate. Audrey. You know what, Audrey? I like the name Audrey. You can stay. And Paracelsus. Pete. That'll do. Barry, Dennis, Audrey, Pete. Adventurers. So, let's have a look at these guys' abilities. Let's break it down. Let's see what they are good at. Because this game is hard. Okay? Don't know if anyone's told you that. I'm going to die a lot. I'm going to ruin everything. So it's important to know what your guys are good at. So, Noxious Blast. See, I know from this ability in the first game, it says target 4, and it has that little green symbol thing at the bottom. That must be Blight. That's like your disease damage. So that only does 2 to 3 damage to a single target on the front too. That's kind of interesting. Blinding Gas, that will, well, blind them. I don't know what the blind condition particularly does in this game. Incision. So this is the only one that generally he will not be able to do because he's going to be on my back line, and yeah, he needs to be in the front 3. So that actually gives a bleed 3 to 6. That's actually quite strong damage. That's not so bad. Battlefield Medicine. So if you have under 50% health, you can heal for 20% and remove fire. Oh my god, you can now be set on fire. Why is this a thing that needs to be done? Scares me. And finally, I wasn't noticing that has a cooldown. That's new. You could use abilities as much as you wanted, with the very vague exception of sometimes they'd have a number of uses per battle. Cooldowns. Oh, that scares me. See, again, plus 10% resistance to some of those debuffs doesn't seem that worth it to me, Pete, but hey-ho. Sanguine as well, so Bright Future can be seen at the beginning of each round. Lose 1 stress. I'll take that. That symbol is stress, if you didn't know already. Oh, no. Oh, God, that's terrible. He's knackered his wrist. How on earth did you do that, Pete? Oh, don't want to know. But, yeah, minus 10% damage. That is nasty. We're going to have to be focusing on his blights and things like that then, I assume. So let's see what Audrey can do. 30% chance of affinity changes. That means absolutely nothing to me. I have no idea what that is. That wasn't in the original game, I don't think. However, if stress is greater than or equal to 40%, minus 4% crit, because it gets a bit scatterbrained, Audrey. Oh dear. Silly Audrey. Well, that's not so bad. I can deal with that anyway. So, Audrey's going to be third in my order, so pick to the face will absolutely work. So 4 to 7 damage is strong, 10% crit's alright. And ignores armor. I don't know how big of a thing that's going to be, but seems pretty big to me. Thrown dagger. So 3 to 5 damage. So this is just hitting the back ones. Ignores different things. Again, I barely know what any of these symbols mean. We'll have to learn them as we go. Flashing daggers. Ooh, AoE in the middle slots. 2 to 3 damage. That's alright, actually. Poison dart. Ooh, getting a bit of blight on. That's not so bad. I can deal with that. Hits anywhere. Absinthe. Wow. Nature's great healer. Only works on herself, but can be used to heal a third of her health. That's pretty strong. And finally, let's look at Barry. What can you do, Barry? So again, there is actually a skill that he can't use in the front line. So we'll see what that is. So Crush. No, that is taken from the first game as well. You hit it with your big mace. Does damage. Good stuff. Rampart. Again, that was from the original, because I played the original yesterday to remind myself of how this all works. You move yourself forward 1, and you can knock people back. Again, that skill wasn't actually that useful in the original, I found. The moving yourself forward could be good, because at least then, if you do get pushed back, you can get yourself more into the front lines without having to spend a turn moving. Defender. I think, from what I remember, that boosts your protection, or your sort of armor kind of thing, for 2 rounds. And you also get to pick a member of your party to shield for 2 rounds, I think. So any damage they take, you would take instead, but you get that buff to protection, so you take less damage overall. Bolster removes something. Don't know what that symbol means. And finally, hold the line. Now this is the one that I have never seen before, and also I can't use in that front slot. That's because it moves me forward 3. So this kind of makes Rampart completely useless to me, really, because it does the same amount of damage, has better crit, seems to shield Barry as well. Yeah, that's just better. Hold the line all the time, man. And right, let's see as well. Is that for randomizing names? I assume it is. Quick draw. On round 1, +5 speed. Okay, so generally Barry will go first. I'm alright with that. Now that's interesting. His negative trait just simply says austere.
Pride. More devastating than the horrors of 100 campaigns.
Okay. Let's get these guys in our order.
Hunted, harried, a fugitive seeking to outpace the past.
Okay, the narrator had something to say about the first 2. Didn't bother with the order, sorry.
Indiscriminate science stains the surgeon's hands.
So, something, I don't know, it's not particularly an important mechanic, but depending on the party that you get, the devs have put in, you tend to get a name for your selection you've chosen. This one being the usual suspects. I think in the first game you got the Red Hook party. It was the default, because Red Hook is obviously the developers who made this. I think we know our brave heroes of Barry, Dennis, Audrey and Pete. Let's see how they do. Let's get them in this wagon. The valley.
You came here seeking solace, but found stagnation instead.
Okay, so no. I think yeah, the way that the driving works is weird, and oh, a thing. The academic's cache. Oh well, I like an academic's cache.
Unexpected find.
Oh, and that just worked as well. Okay. So we got a combat item. Oh my god, there's loads of stuff. This is cool. This is cool. So, medicinal herbs, combat item. If the target is bleeding, or it's blighted, or it's on fire, cure that instantly. Perfect. We've got 2 of those. Also got laudanum. I think that's some sort of drug or drink. I'm not sure. I can't remember. So if a target is either going mental or stress is just above 0%, you either take a stress point off them or you cure their... I think that's when they're broken. They've taken too much stress. It can cure that. That's pretty good. Speed bag. Chance to spawn dodge token each turn until next in. Blocked by pacifist sprained wrist. Oh, winded. Well, I know poor Pete sprained his wrist, so he can't have the speed bag. I don't really know how that works. This in item, so I don't know if we need to apply that in the next in. Not sure. Clotting poultice. One target. Resist until the next in. I feel that is something that you apply at the in that buffs you for the kind of next section of your journey. We also have a minor sharpness charm. Plus 10% damage, a vague trinket. I could actually give that to Pete to negate his sprained wrist. So storage trunk, plus 4 inventory slots. That sounds very, very nice indeed. Hopefully we can just drag and drop that into our coach. And then relics, currency. Cool, take them all. So let's see. Yeah, upon the doomed wagon. We can't actually do anything with that yet. Right, we got loads of things to read about how this game works. So, inventory, you press I. Yeah, that makes sense to view your inventory. Your shared inventory is split between all item types. Some items stack well, whereas some take an entire slot. It was always a pain in the first game, and I quite often modded it to make the inventory stack a little bit nicer, because it used to be absolute nightmare. Use the inventory tabs to see each type. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can upgrade your stagecoach to increase stacking limits. Well, we've already got one of our things. An upgrade for our stagecoach, so that's good. If the stagecoach becomes full, you may wish to discard less important items. Click and drag. Just, lob them anywhere. Items cannot be sold anywhere, so throw what you don't need. That's good to know. Discarding items earns a small amount of hope. What's hope? Well, we'll get to that. Treasures. Trinkets, combat items, in items, and stagecoach upgrades will help you on your quests. You'll also find relics and baubles, which can be used to purchase supplies from vendors. Okay. Trinkets. Each hero may equip up to 2 trinkets at each time. That is just like the original. Trinkets confer bonuses or special abilities that can drastically improve a hero. Trinkets may not be removed. May be removed or swapped at any time. Yeah. So that was fine. You can select the trinket filter to see the trinkets. Drag them onto a hero. That's fine. Combat items. They're equipped into a dedicated skill slot on each hero. I wonder if that takes away then one of your abilities. I'll have to find out. Mastery points. Mastery points are earned mostly through combat victories. Each point will upgrade one hero skill. Okay, I was wondering about that. So I think this game is far more roguelike in its approach. Rather than going on these missions, coming back and upgrading, I think the idea is that you kind of almost refresh each time. There might be some things that kind of stay stay permanent between each run and trying to get to this darkest dungeon. But I'm not sure. Relics are the main currency of the land, used to buy the best supplies. You can find them as spoils of battle. Yep. Baubles are used to purchase trinkets. Interesting. Baubles come in different forms for each region. All bauble types are worth the same, but take up different spaces in your inventory. Your total baubles are shown in the triangle-like symbol in the inventory. Alright, well, I think it's about time then. We take a look at our inventory, see what we're working with at the moment. So we have 20 relics, so that's what we can use to buy supplies and things. Baubles, we currently have 0, and mastery points we have 0 of as well. So in items, I don't think we can use until the end, that's fine. Trinkets, we can equip them. So at the moment we have a minor sharpness charm. So in a moment we can look at Pete. We can see his resistances there at the bottom. Simply death resist, that's worrying. And I'm thinking if we drop your 10% damage in for old Petey boy, then that should hopefully mean that his 10% sort of sprained wrist thing is negated ever so slightly, but I'm not sure. We then need to look at combat items, and okay, no, everyone does have a combat item slot that doesn't take up something. So Pete can already use battlefield medicine, so I'm not going to give him medicinal herbs. Aubrey, you can heal yourself, but I think give you the medicinal herbs. To be fair, I probably will give Pete actually the laudanum, because he can target other people with it. And I always found the backline fighters would occasionally be in positions where this could be completely different for this game, but having some utility on them was really important. Whereas Barry, especially with his abilities of guarding people, you didn't always want to have to give that up. Just to, remove a sort of blight point or something from someone. So, yeah, that is that. So I'm noticing at the bottom right.
I remember our first meeting on the steps of the university. A collegial handshake that would doom us both.
Oh. Yeah, I'll admit, struggling to control this bleeding wagon. I know there is like an auto control. Oh, the desperate few. What's going on? Encounters. Okay, I was going to say, I have no clue what's going on here, what to click or how to do it. Ah, there's During encounters such as this one, heroes will voice opinions on a course of action. You must choose one of their wishes. Click and hold a choice to select it. The results will be previewed at the bottom of the screen. So, we must light the way for more than merely us now. That's very nice. So I need to do what Pete wants, which is exactly the same, or I can do what Audrey wants, which is exactly the same. They both want to help. Hope is contagious once it catches. Yeah. Well, I feel bad for Pete and his poorly wrist, so I'm gonna go with what Pete said.
An unexpected find.
Which boosted our flame, and it gave us some slime mold. Blocked by Fussy Eater. I don't think we had any Fussy Eaters, did we? Someone has a dicky tummy, though. I do remember that. Oh, that just means food has a chance to do nothing. That's what that was. Alright, yeah, so that boosted our flame a little bit. And we're doing pretty good. I was hoping to get a fight in. Oh, I want to see what the combat looks like with this lovely new 3D graphics they got. As I crash through every single leaf pile. Steer around this one.
Comforts are exhausted. Ahead, only trial and tribulation.
Oh, okay, so just checking. I think we've already kind of looked through the hero sheet anyway. But you can view stats relationships, which is interesting. I had heard on the grapevine that the heroes' relationships to each other are important, but I don't really know what that means. You can equip skills, quirks, diseases. Oh god, diseases were a nightmare. Yeah, you can mouth over stats, see buffs. Yeah, relationships. Gold pips indicate positive affinity, blue pips are negative. Okay, good. So I will have a look, because it's possible that Pete and Audrey got on because they both wanted to help those people. We'll see. Quirks are positive or negative personality traits. Perks with a special little symbol are rare. Okay, good to know. Negative quirks can be treated, removed at the hospital. Positive quirks can be reinforced, locked there as well. Okay. So again, this is... I'm assuming then you can have multiple quirks at once, which is lovely. The first game, you would end up having a big stack of both positive and negative, which was fun. Combat skills, yeah, we know that. You may equip 5 skills at a time, and there's 6 slot for combat items. You can have 11 skills that can eventually be unlocked. See, this is the thing. I don't know whether you unlock them permanently in between runs, or whether you unlock them just as, there, and then when the hero dies, that's it. You go back to the beginning. There's also conditions. Okay, that's fine. Let's have a quick cheeky look at some relationships. Let's see. So he's fine with all of them. Pete and Audrey, they get on. Sound. I do like the look of the grave robber. That is really cool. Oh, especially... Oh, Dennis looks menacing anyway. Alright, come on. I'm just about to crash this wagon. The doomed wagon. There you go. Right. Oh.
Each gravestone is more than a failure. It is a promise
Oh.
to do better.
What's happened there? Oh. Oh, I hovered over the torch. And it gave some things. Oh, there's a blockage in the road.
The bulwark of your denial is giving way.
Oh, it's time! Oh, it's our first fight. Combat. Oh my god. Oh, hello! That's an interesting tutorial title. Remember, this game is in early access, so... Affinity. Heroes often have vastly different opinions about how different things should be resolved. When you choose a hero's response, any heroes that agree will glow, any that disagree will be blue, okay. Each region is overwhelmed with local evil. Resistance encounters are battle with these monsters. Winning resistance encounters is the primary way in which you gain mastery points. So that's leveling up. Make the heroes more powerful. It also reduces loathing. Don't know what loathing is, we'll find that later. Battling evil is not without risk, but if you avoid all resistant encounters, you will find your party ill-prepared to tackle the mountain. Yeah. It's the whole risk-reward thing, you need to fight to level up. Assistance encounters. So that's what we just did. So we need to help people. And that sort of restores our flame. There's also cultist encounters. Make from the mountain. So yeah, there's cultists in the mountain, okay. They're always a tough fight, but the rewards are valuable. So they're like boss fights? Like mini-bosses? Maybe? Okay. So stave off the evil, reduce your loathing, and use the spoils to equip yourself. I don't know what loathing is. So now, combat I will flip through. I'm assuming I know how this works, because I played the first game. If you haven't, this is why I'm going through it, so then at least you know what's going on as well. So each hero or enemy rolls initiative at the beginning of the round. Dungeons and Dragons like it. Turn order is shown by the portraits in the top right. Good to know that we actually get told the turn order, because you never used to. So only partial turn order is shown. Okay, so you can plan ahead a little. Actions, yeah, you can use a combat item. That's free. Then you can use a skill. Okay, good to know that the combat items are free. Yeah, you can use the skills. They have different ranges. Yeah, the circular pips tell you where you need to be stood and what enemies you can target. Some of the skills can target multiple enemies at once. They're AoE or area of effect skills. You can also cause effects. These are all the tokens. Yeah, they're now called tokens. They never used to be. You could hold G to see the token glossary. That might be a good thing to do at some point, but I'll probably just wing it and we'll learn what they are. See info. If you mouse over a hero, hold Alt to show what is going on them. Dots, they are damage over time, so you could be bleeding, blighting, or burning. I don't think burning was in the previous game. Could be wrong. Cause damage at the beginning of the combatant's turn until they expire or they are cured. Yes. So many skills or combat items can cure them. Yeah, Death's Door. When a hero is reduced to 0 HP, they're on Death's Door. Any further damage has a chance to kill the hero depending on the death blow resistance. You can, yeah, heal them. Healing skills. This is the one hero I was not expecting them to take out at the starting lineup, was the healer. I missed the Vestal, I think they were called, the class from the first game that was, they used to heal. They're gone. Monster death blows. Some monsters have death blow resistance themselves. Oh, that's new. When a monster is on death's door, each further blow has a chance to slay it. Some skills and trinkets can increase the chance of executing. Ah, yeah, that's just telling us what the token glossary is. Right, let's actually get some fight on. So going first, we have Audrey. What health they've got? They got 13 health each, and one of the front's going first. So no point doing ranged because it does less damage, and pit to the face can reach both of them. Flashing daggers is useless. It would hit the two middle enemies, and we're not fighting the two middle. Poison dart. What is their blight resist? They have quite high blight resist because they are nasty poisonous fellows. And yeah, we don't need to heal, so I think pick to the face. And oh, look at the animation there. And let's smack this lost soul. Bang! Only 4 damage. Okay, the turn order must be going right to left. That really confused me, because I assumed the Lost Soul was going next. And it's not, it's Barry, Big Barry. So I think in this fight, rather than defending, I am going to try and use all the damage we can to take out this first Lost Soul before he has a chance to hit us. 6. Because now all I need to do is to have Dennis wicked slice him. And all he needs to do is 3 damage. If he does that 3 damage, we'll be absolutely fine. And he does! Get in, Dennis. Now, something that I'm sure will pop up in the tutorial later is that has now spawned a corpse. That corpse sits there and gets in the way. So, this is what I mean about sometimes the guys at the back can't necessarily do anything. I'm going to try and do Noxious Blast. I did say they have fairly high sort of disease resist, but we'll see if he can get past it and knacker this fella. Does 3 damage, and it works. He's taken 4 damage. 3 turns. Oh, but he's given Dennis a little chomp, stressed him out by a point. But actually, otherwise, that was completely fine. Alright, let's smack this fool. Instant death. Audrey. Revenge. Best served cold. And so that gave us a mastery point. And also, I think I noticed that Audrey and Dennis then got a point of friendship. Don't know why, but very pleased that they did. Right, that is going to wrap up this first delve into Darkest Dungeon 2. But we will be back. I hope you have the spookiest of Halloweens. And remember, the greatest fear of all is failing at video games. Truly, there is no horror greater, because so far this has been rather nice, but I assure you next episode things will get darker and darker and darker. Right, have a lovely day, and I will see you next time.